Today we'll go hiking in the desert. We are in the southern side of Phoenix and let's take a look. So far it looks beautiful. This reminds me of back home. So I'm originally from Guanajuato in Mexico, but here the terrain is even tougher than in Mexico.
More than 200 hikers annually are rescued from City of Phoenix desert and mountain parks and reserves. Well, I am violating most of these recommendations, but I do have water, I checked the weather, and I do have a phone. So let's go. I am captivated by the beauty of the terrain, all the rocks, the cactus. It's just all so pretty, so majestic for me. Even when it's just 8 in the morning, it's remarkably empty. I do see a couple of humans here and there, but for the most, I'm on my own. Those desert cicadas get louder by the minute, and I love that sound, man. It's just so beautiful.
All right, so I've been walking for maybe half an hour, and you can definitely begin to feel the exhaustion. Not exhaustion, but the toll of walking and being in such a dry environment.
So finally, I make a tactical stop to grab some water, look around. Forgot I left my camera on, but that's okay. A friend in college used to make fun of how I breathe because he's like so damn loud. I'm sure he will be proud when he watches this video. Then I got to this pretty rock formation and just randomly decided to walk towards these big cactus behind it. You'll see how big it is when I get to it. You'll be fucking amazed. So now I have a purpose. Shall I say a business plan, a strategy? Just get to the big cactus and stand next to it. Amazing. Terrain does get a little bit tougher because I have to get off National Trail into the Pima Canyon Trail. When I was a kid, I used to squeeze all these cactus just for the sake of it. I know, I was always a little bit weird.
So I need to get this thought out. I cannot help but picture myself when I was like 10 years old, walking through the desert in my hometown of Irapuato in Guanajuato, Mexico. All this landscape, all these rocks, these cactus right here, this beautiful, huge cactus reminds me of my childhood. And there's a sacred connection that I realize I have with the desert. And the good news is that Arizona has a much bigger desert than Guanajuato. So I'm just going to keep on hiking, having fun, and I'm just having the time of my life. Not even on my wildest dreams. When I was 10 years old walking through the desert, I will have thought that I will become an autonomous vehicle, a research engineer, travel the world, become a US citizen. All that, this stuff is just amazing. So let's keep on rocking. Oh, I know how to do these trails. I've been practicing my whole life. And I love them. I really, really love these trails. We don't have rattlesnakes back home, so that's a difference. We do have coralillos, hocico de puerco, and some other ones, but not vipers.
After walking for who knows how long, I find a shade. So of course I'm not going to waste the opportunity to get some shade, grab a drink, and just keep on rocking. The dominant sensation of this trip is that I'm traveling back to my childhood. Back to the freaking sticks. For you are dust, and to dust will you return. Finally, after a few minutes, I hear human voices. So I approach them relatively fast. Pretty much I just ask them for directions. I ask them how to get to the highest ground to get better pictures. And the funny thing is that amongst themselves they were speaking in Spanish, but when I asked them something in Spanish, they replied in English. Which is really weird, but, you know, to each their own. And you know, this is one of those times when I really wish my wife was with me. Because I'm looking at this plate on the right, and I'm trying to figure out what it says, and I just can't while editing this video. And I'm just sure that if she was with me, she will have me stop, take a picture of the plaque, and move on. Here apparently had a flat tire or something. Thanks to Google Lens, I was able to find the plaque, so here's what it says.
Enhanced 34 to 46.
South Mountain Park Trail National Recreation. So after solving that mystery, we move on to the most treacherous part of the hike, where you have big boulders that you need to climb, and I'm carrying my gimbal, and it's one of those RS4 gimbals that is super heavy. So this was a lot of fun, I have to say. By now, my eyes are completely covered on sunscreen, dripping from my forehead. It's pretty gross. And I do not know where I'm going half the time, which was very frustrating. I'm pretty much alone, and I suspect that what I'm doing is a mistake. I, gather as much data as I can, take nice pictures and all that stuff, and prepare to head back. By this point, I'm seriously thinking that it's like 1 p.m. or something. When I realize it's just 9 in the morning, I'm alone, I'm on my own. It's time to head back home. I was a little bit exhausted and euphoric. Also, I could feel all these endorphins flowing through my blood extremely fast. I was so happy that I forgot to turn on the microphones. So, I have no idea what the fuck I was saying during this small speech, but I'm pretty sure it was something like this.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
The walk back to the car was extremely tough. Of course, I had more than enough water, but still, I could feel how my aim was starting to fail, meaning I couldn't keep the camera straight. So that was very interesting to see, like, the deterioration of my senses in just a small time span. Even when I wiped my face like 10 times with my shirt, somehow there was still sunscreen making it to my eyes, which was insane. Notice how there are several bees on my ass and just flying around me, and I couldn't care less. This is my water, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I forgot to turn on the mic here, but I remember clearly what I said. This trail kicked my ass. And it was amazing.